Maybe it's the clout. I get love in the north, I get love in the south, yeah. Shawty claims she a feminist, and her feminine. Girl, you know that he average. Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, cop the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you don't.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with the man who has had to stick with me all season long, Charles Davis. And, Charles, the anticipation, the hype, the media coverage, all in the rear-view mirror now. We can finally get down to playing some football.
Yeah, don't worry about that, partner. I'll ride or die with you anytime. You know that. But here's the best thing about this. Everyone talks about trying to keep things normal as they approach for Super Bowl. There is no such thing as normal. The pageantry, the hype, all of that is more intense than anyone could ever imagine. What you're trying to do is embrace it in one way and make sure it doesn't totally knock you off your game. That's why the night before the big one, teams often switch hotels, try and give those guys that last chance to breathe a little bit before they go out and play.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. In on the stop, it was the UCF product, Shaquem Griffin. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. And on the ground they go with a running back. And now look at him go. Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. With a first touchdown of this Super Bowl and a long one at that. And the Jags have taken the early lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Smith, his first carry. And an alley to run. The It's a big play that time for the Packers. 62 yards. Well, welcome to the party. First carry of the game. How about that?
And just think, as far as he's concerned, he's just getting warmed up.
Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for 1st and 10. Now a handoff working right. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll run it here. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Here's a give to Smith. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on 4th down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And this may be a big early turning point in this Super Bowl. They're going to go for it on 4th down here.
Detroit!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. So their first drive of the game already trailing, having given up points. A little surprised that they went for it, right?
Maybe the big guy, the head coach, senses this is going to be a shootout type of a game, that they've got to match them point for point as opposed to, hey, we'll get them later. Maybe he just has that sense, and that's why he decided to go for it there.
And they'll go to the ground attack here. And he'll be taken down for a loss back at the 3. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch it now, Barney!
And they'll go on the ground. And he's got some space here. There he goes left side. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Jaguars are able to strike quickly for 6. McManus's point after is good, and it's now 14-0. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it? It
certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays.
Detroit!
Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet. and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Detroit! Detroit!
On 2nd down, here's Smith. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter. And a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain of 32 that time.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. They'll try and run forward with Smith. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Detroit! Detroit!
Alongside the former defensive back Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Jaguar.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And they'll go ground game here, the tailback. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Clinton Dix there for the stop.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. That'll be caught by his tight end, Ian Thomas. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, you can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
No. Check. Patriot.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
And when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. Under 4 to play now. Clock running. 3rd down. And they'll run it here. And he'll take this one down to the 36. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. They find some open field here. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. First down. The Jags with their first opportunity in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Now they try the right side here. And able to get him inside the 5 here, just inside the 5 to about the 4. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. They come out here in the eye. Now a handoff, Johnson. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1. The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Detroit! No. Check. Patriot! Watch him now, Barney!
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll take this one in for a Jags touchdown. A great effort there with his 3rd touchdown of this Super Bowl. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. Extra point from McManus is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them.
And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They're not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that. They might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Detroit!
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback. But as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And they'll go on the ground. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. Kevin King coming up from the secondary to make the play. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. So on 3rd down, the field goal unit will come out as they'll try to get 3 before half. This from 54 yards away. And McManus able to put it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists.
So the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. So we've arrived at halftime here in Super Bowl 57. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. That one goes for 24 yards. A first down carry for Smith. Nowhere to go that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll look to throw. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man. Equanimous St. Brown. 23 yards on the play. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there are very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
It's caught here by Adams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there. Scampering home from 19 yards out. And the Packers get a score closer. The extra point splits the uprights. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Here comes the Jags offense now. Time for their first possession of half number 2. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Watch it now, Barney. All right, now, look at 56. Look at.
Right back to him on 1st down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56.
And they'll run it here. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up to throw. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. Now a handoff looking right. And a solid run down inside the 30. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now they try the right side here. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 3 yards is the pickup, but it leaves them still needing 11 here on 3rd down.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
This offense really put themselves in a tough spot on 1st and 2nd down.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. And now before they run this play on 4th and 1, we're going to get a break and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. And McManus able to put it through, and that'll push the lead up to 17. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
A handoff to Smith. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
The Packers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9.
Detroit! Detroit!
Back to throw. The open man is Smith. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and also a first down.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll look to throw. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle as a visiting team, as an underdog. You were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Leopard! Gone! 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 Gone!
Looking to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
If they're going to have a shot in this Super Bowl, they're going to need this one on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Looking here for Smith downfield. And this is going to be incomplete. The Packers unable to pick up the first. And the Jags take over in terrific field position. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. Been a very strong performance for them, really, on both sides of the football. The turnover on downs, the most recent example. And now, obviously, they're in a great spot here.
Yeah, if you're over on the bench right now, you're shaking hands with your teammate, you're hugging him, give him a little dap. Been a big, big performance for them. Now you just don't get careless. Take care of the ball on the way out.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Spinning past him. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there with a record 4th Super Bowl touchdown tonight. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead. McManus's point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And now spinning, weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with what will be called a 107-yard return. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Now a 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And the Jaguars are going to cover this one up. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Able to avoid him at the 40. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
And they'll run it here. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And now the Packers going to take another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. This to make it a 3-score game late. And this is good. It was running out of gas there at the end, but he winds up getting just enough on it. And that right there is something we've seen, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape.
Watch him now, Barney.
He'll go on the ground. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Time for a break. We're back to crown a champion after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Detroit! Gun!
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 39. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 46 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
They'll set up a throw. Throw left side complete. That's Waters. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 1st down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags. They go play action here on 1st down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
And the Jaguars have done it. Jacksonville, the Super Bowl champions.